Welcome back, and thank you for staying with All Angles. Now, a major strike is looming in the public service sector. At least 9 unions are threatening to embark on an indefinite strike. They are refusing to begin salary negotiations as they say last year's talks have not yet been concluded. The unions also say government's 3% offer is pathetic, but the Public Servants Association says it's ready to table its demands. Let's find out more now from the union's Reuben Maleka. Thank you very much for your time here on All Angles, Mr. Maleka. Just first of all, in terms of the fact that your union represents about 235,000 public servants, give us a picture by telling us how many public servants we have countrywide.
Yeah, thank you very much, Masero, and good afternoon to the viewers. First of all, let me clarify the fact that the trade unions, 9 of them will be going on strike. It's not all trade unions that will be striking. The PSA and other majority trade unions, which form plus minus about 50%, we are continuing with the wage demands. Will be actually, as we speak right now, the PSA with other trade unions are in the PSABC, they are in the boxing ring, and they are also fighting for 2023-2024 salary increases. You'll recall that, Masero, last year, 2022, the PSA is the only trade union that went on strike. And at that time, the other trade unions were not willing, they were not interested in the strike. We went on strike. We pursued from 1% up to 3%, where the employer moved up to 3%, which they neutrally implemented. We do not accept, we do not appreciate the employer's unilateral implementation. However, we cannot, as a trade union, at the time when we went on strike, other unions were sitting on the sidelines, and suddenly they want to catch a late bus. That bus has passed. We now in the new year, the repo rate is too high for members to continue to hear the stories about the strikes while they don't get an actual salary increase. Therefore, we are here today as the PSA to make demands to the employer to say, we know what happened in 2022. We know that we went on strike and none of the unions were out there, but only PSA members that have enjoyed no work, no pay. So it's good that other unions are now coming up to go on strike, also to show that, in fact, they should have been in the strike action already with us last year. So for this year, we will table new demands. And if the employer, yes, of course, we give them opportunity to bring any kind of offer, because we don't want, come the April this year, our members are going to be worse off. They cannot afford it. The economic condition does not allow. We see how the repo rate is being going up. They're not able to afford their houses. All their debts that there's to pay. Therefore, it is upon us as the PSA to lead this cause and go back to the boxing ring and fight the employer so that there will be a better increase for our members.
Yeah, so talking about the employer, Mr. Maleka, are you of the belief that you would be able to sway their hand? It looks like, it'll be the same excuse that they've been giving to unions for the last couple of years, that there is no money.
Yes, of course. We all expect that there will be excuses about no money. However, we are optimistic because one of the good things that would happen, that is pending, and it's already been pronounced by the president, is that as you know, it's been quite some time, many months, almost a year, we do not have a permanent minister for public service administration. And we are pleading and we are calling for the president to, move on action to ensure that he moves on the cabinet reshuffle and give us a minister, a permanent minister that can really have a due consideration to our plight and our demands as public servants. And we are hopeful that upon the reshuffling of the cabinet with the new minister, the attitude might change. We might find that they were able to move, and therefore, on that note, as the PSA, we said we have consulted our members. Our members gave us what should be made as demands, and as I speak right now, we are tabling those demands. We had the meeting started at 10 at the PSABC because we don't want the situation come the 1st of April, the 15th of April. The members are the losers. We cannot afford that.
And, we know that the demand by some unions, especially the ones that will be going on that strike, is 10%. Is that your demand as well?
Look, our demands for this current financial year is to ensure that we protect the cash allowance. You are aware that in the past 2 years, the members have been receiving cash allowance in the form of cash gratuity. We want that particular cash allowance to be now converted into a salary, which is pensionable, with no one worse off in terms of the net income. And we also want an increase in terms of the inflation. The inflation stayed at 7.5%, and that is exactly what we are demanding right now, to protect the cash allowance, to be made pensionable, increase, protected to an extent that there is no a single employee will get a less salary before salary increase of this year. Then we add salary increase for this year, 2022, 2023, 2024, of the inflation related, which is 7.5%. So in that way, we'll be making sure that our members can absorb all the hardships and the repo rates that has been ever increasing. And we cannot go back and still believe that the employer can reverse the 3% that was unilaterally implemented. We had that hope when we went on strike at that time, but PSA unfortunately did not have a support. And we cannot at this date of the year.
And that's where, I'm sorry for interjecting, Mr. Maleka, that's where I wanted to come actually. Is, the PSA also feeling a little unfairly treated or some type of way by the other unions which now want to strike, not supporting you when you, embarked on your protest last year?
Yes, of course. I mean, really speaking, it's too late to come on board right now to want to strike. We had a strong opportunity. The PSA on the 10th of November alone went on strike. And we expected that with that time when every union had to come out and we have a collective, effort to be in the form of, shutdown, that could have had impact. But you can't, after 3 months, when you fail to go on strike and believe that we can start a fresh strike of old demands. Workers are no longer, they've already, in the new phase of the new year, and they expect unions at this point in time to, bring out something that can improve their lives. So what will be the difference to go back into the past if we have now faced with the future where workers are saying, look, what would happen come the 1st of April? The employer is threatening to take away cash allowance come the 1st of April. And we need to make sure that it's either we have got a legal position to protect it, or we have a collective, position to protect the cash allowance. And it is upon us as the PSA to make sure that our members are not worse off.
And just very quickly, Mr. Maleka, don't you think that the employer will at some point use this, squabble between unions who are feeling unsupported, etc.? Do you not have a bit of concern that they will use this to their advantage to see, for lack of a better word,
look, the fact is that every trade union, they've got their own mandates. And, PSA is a democratic, independent trade union that is not influenced by any kind of politics out there. We are influenced by the mandate of the workers. We take mandate from our members, and our members have given us a clear mandate. And if we cannot obviously, dilly-dally on our mandate because other trade unions have got the different mandate. If the other trade unions, their mandate is to strike for last year a demand, it is their members' mandate, and we should respect that. But as the PSA, our members are saying we are hungry. 2023, 2024, they want a salary increase, and their mandate is for us to go back to the PSBC, and then we negotiate to better their salaries. Because without doing so, we cannot continue to let them in the streets and they find nothing out of the streets. Because going to the street is also costly. It comes with no working pay, and you cannot, from last year as the PSA, take out members, and this year again, afford to take members on the street. Yes, on the same demand that has already not been achieved. So we need to move forward to the condition of members of the PSA and other public servants.
All right. Thank you very much for speaking to us. The PSA's Reuben Maleka speaking to us there about a possible strike by public servants by some unions come the 22nd of this month. They want to file their notice to the employer, being government.